Okay, we've got Jim, then Mike, and then we're going upstairs.
Jim Utter, Charlotte Observer. Jimmie, before Infineon, there seemed to be a growing consensus that you were in a terrible slump, you were missing, you had dropped off the face of the earth. Are you back now? Can we say that now?
Yeah, I don't think we really went anywhere. You know, there's certain tracks that we're looking for a little speed at. I mean, it's just the way it always goes. And I found that on those tracks, I was just driving over the limit of the vehicle and over my head, thinking, maybe a little cocky, thinking I can slide this car around all day long and get away with it. And it bit me a couple times. So that led to the poor finishes. The deal at Dover was just, I mean, 800ths or thousandths of a mile an hour over, and got nailed on the speeding thing. So I guess it is a mistake, but I mean, damn, when you're at 10 tenths day in and day out, you're going to have those things happen. So I think it was an overreaction of things, and it was easy to overreact because we had some poor finishes, and that was due to overaggression. And I told myself after Charlotte that you know, I can't drive at 11 tenths. It's not possible. I can't do that. I need to drive the car to its ability, give Chad and the guys a chance to work on it, bring the car home in one piece, and then we can work on the car to make it better the next time we go to the racetrack. And bringing it home on the hook and 30-something in points, it isn't going to do anybody any good. So, you know, we had a good solid day in Pocono, did the same at Michigan. And I think when we go back to those larger tracks, we still need to find a little bit of speed, but the short tracks seem to be very good for us. I'm excited about the Glen when we go there for the road course race. So, and right now we're rolling along.
Jimmie, Mike Vega, Boston Globe. You mentioned after the race that you hoped your wife didn't give birth after watching those last few laps, but I know she's ready to have a baby, but were you ready to have a cow after, you know, getting knocked out of the way by Kurt? And how did you maintain your composure in that instance? I mean, you running out of laps there, but you seemed to maintain composure, and Chad kind of commended you for that. But I mean, do you feel like you're growing? Was this another evolution in terms of your career?
Yeah, inside the car, I was livid. I was so pissed off that he got into me, and I almost lost it at one point. It's kind of sliding, and then it took off, and the tires started chattering, and that's usually when you're turned around. So once I got back going, and I was still in second, I thought, man, I hope I catch you. I look forward to this if I catch you, and that was my incentive, was not necessarily to pass him. All I had to do was get to his bumper, and I was going to win the race. And he gave me that option by moving me out of the way. So I just sat there, and as I put together a good lap or two, I saw that I caught him, and I thought, this is going to work out just fine. I'm going to get there with about 1 or 2 to go, and if I get to the bumper, I know I'm going to make the turn. I'm not sure he's going to. So I just took that approach and got in there, and of course I calmed down once I got to him, just gave him a nudge and went on my way. But the laps leading up to that, I had great visions of a huge, spectacular crash.
You seem to be sizing him up, those two.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing what a couple laps will do to your emotions. And Chad knew I was red-faced in the car and was trying to calm me down. And plenty of time. You got 5 laps, you can get him, and you know, that was helpful as well.
Chad, can you just follow up? You heard radio silence during those things, right?
Yeah, I know when he's pissed. Yeah, I knew he was upset. We were all upset, but you know, I don't know. I'm still having trouble thinking that he did it intentionally. I'm hoping that he drove it in there, bombed it in there, was hoping that he could get to the inside of us and the car would turn. Kurt's never raced us like that, so I'm hoping that he's not, you know, trying to act like he did something he didn't intentionally mean to do, because he's a good friend of ours, and we don't like racing him like that, you know. And I hope that's not the case. Steve Addington, his crew chief, is a great friend of mine, so you know, we don't need to start any shenanigans like that. We're big boys.
We're going to go upstairs. We've got Rich, Lee, and Lewis.
Jimmie, this is Rich Thompson from the Boston Herald. Just comment on starting the race for the chase with this kind of statement, victory, please.
Yeah, you know, running good at this track in Dover earlier in the year, it's really important to us, and we all focus on those tracks that will come back again in the chase. And a win here is big for us. We've been top 10 car for the last couple years and a top 5 car, and then now back to victory lane. So we've always enjoyed racing here. We love coming up here to run on this track, and very thankful to have our stuff together. And it's not too far away before we come back for the start of the chase. And we had a great starting point. And I know I learned a lot today, and I'm sure Chad did as well. And organization, Jeff ran well. I know we'll go home and debrief and be a lot smarter even when we come back.
Lee Spencer, Fox Sports for Chad Knaus. Chad, can you kind of comment on what's going on? I mean, I don't know you know not intimately what's going on with the Roush Fenway racing cars, but you guys were getting ready to put Carl Edwards 2 laps down. It eventually happened. Not a single Roush Fenway car on the lead lap at the end of the race. I mean, are you surprised that they have fallen so far so fast when it was Carl and Jimmie just a couple of years ago battling for the championship?
Oh, man, Lee, it's tough. This is a very, very difficult sport. It's very easy. You know, honestly, I'm not surprised. You know, they've taken on quite a feat with the RPM cars or Gillette cars, or I don't know what those cars are, the 9 and the 19 and the 43. You know, to do all of that stuff along with the 4 cars that they've got in-house, maintaining those cars along with the nationwide cars, there's a lot going on. And as you begin to tear up race cars, and just like what Jimmie was speaking about before, when we had a couple of weeks or 3-week stretch there where we were wrecking race cars, we got behind. And obviously that we operate at a much smaller level than what the Roush camp does. So when those guys go through and they tear up race cars and they have bad finishes and they have things go on, it's easy to lose track of what's going on and lose sight of the goal. And I think that's probably what's going on with them. Sometimes you just get too big and you can't make it happen.
Louis Frank, excuse me, ESPN Magazine and Order 123 for Jimmie. Talked about this last week. 2 weeks ago, you were 20 points behind Hamlin. You know, looking for bonus points. We have 9 more races in the race to the chase. I mean, wins become so much more important to you now. Can you comment a little about that for these next 9 races?
Yeah, they do. I mean, the 10 points are really important. It's nice to be even with Denny, and to have a gap on some of the other guys right now. As excited as I get for having this bonus, I guess we'd have 30 over the 18 if it was now or whoever it is. That's not a lot. I mean, it's worth having. I would rather have the 30 points than not. But we look at Texas last year, we lost 100 points. This year, we've had a couple 30th place finishes. You quickly lose 100 points. So it's nice. We'll take them. It gives the team a lot of confidence. It puts us in a prime position going into the chase. But you still have to go perform in those final 10 races and not have DNFs and really finish better than 15th. I know everybody's focused on winning, but I think top 15s, and with how competitive things are, maybe even top 10s, are a must to win the championship.